Fry, the 2018 AA Fuel Dragster NHRA Hot Rod Heritage Series champion, a big supercharger explosion. In session number 2, she shook the tires, the car broke the rear end, she went off the end of the racetrack. Will Mendy Fry come back and defend her crown in 2019? As we get ready to kick off a 6-race series, it all starts right here at the March meet. AA Fuel Dragster fans, you don't want to miss it.
Sort of came down and it moved the back end around.
Well, I can't make all that up.
It's big. It's huge. It's everything.
Yeah, we're trying to see if we can repeat.
How does it feel? It was a terrible year in my life.
Lewis Bloom, Cole Coonce, we're here to call the action for the 61st annual March meet at historic Auto Club Famoso Raceway in Bakersfield. And Cole, one of the biggest events for drag racers who love front engine top fuel.
Well, not only that, it's like my favorite drag race, dare I say it.
One of the big stories qualifying Pete Wittenberg, last year's winner of the March meet, number 2 in the points, driving the circuit breaker, having a tough time getting down the racetrack.
Nothing would be more crushing, demoralizing than not making it.
Left side of your screen, Pete Wittenberg. On the right side is Rick White. Rick White already pretty much in the field. Here comes the tree. Car goes toward the center line, goes toward the guardrail. He's done. Rick White makes a nice pass from the slope at the top end, 572 or 254. But the big story, Wittenberg DNQs at the March meet.
This will humble you, you know. We ended the year on a high note and left it alone, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what's changed. It's pretty disappointing. Try to win and to not even qualify. Never would have thought that was our outcome.
His next chance, the Holly National Hot Rod Reunion, coming up at Beach Bend Raceway. That's in June, though. Another big story in qualifying, the struggles of Mendy Fry, the opener of the show. You saw what happened, big explosion.
Yeah, so we went from an explosion to like just massive tire shake that actually shook the rear end out of the car, broke a bracket that held the rear end. No brakes, no parachute, goes off the end of the track. They've got to figure out what is wrong with this race car before eliminations commence.
Now here's some of the pairs. Phil RUSKOWSKI all the way from Victoria, Canada, qualified in the number 8 spot. Rick White qualified number 1 to the 572. Good look at that race car. 1 Magneto, single pump. I mean, the cars are just really great examples of what the 1960s looked like here in 2019.
But then you've got a postmodern approach with Brett Williamson, and lead injector scoop has got nothing to do with 1968. I find a certain beauty in that.
Brendan Murray qualified at 6:45. He'll take on Williamson. Brett will have lane choice at round number 1 coming up in just a bit. And there's Jim Murphy, former funny car racer.
Indeed.
And a guy who's won the March meet how many times, Cole?
He's won it 4 times, but don't ask him.
Yeah, don't ask him, because Don Garlitz has won it 5 times.
Right,
And that's
right.
always a question he gets at the March meet.
Murphy will begin his quest for a 5th title against Mendy Fry, who won this race 2 years ago against Murphy when he broke on the starting line. There is some unfinished business between the two of them. I look for a real Donnybrook of a drag race between Mendy Fry and Jim Murphy.
And there's Adam Sorokin, a former winner of the March meet, driving the small block Chevy-powered Dragster, full-bodied car.
And he's up against Rick McGee in his overtime special. Rick apparently likes to toss money to the wind, as well as he has a certain affinity for the Tasmanian devil.
Rick McGee, who qualified at 599. Those are the pairings for round number 1 of AA Fuel Dragster. Now, the big story is the fact that Mendy Fry has not made a representative run. That's one of the stories going into race day.
I don't know if anybody's made a truly representative run. Everybody is off their game. There's been so much rain this winter. Nobody had a chance to probably properly test. This is a pick-em tomorrow.
It's going to be wide open. We'll be back in a bit for round number 1 of Top Fuel at the March meet.
5 to 6 days shoveling snow to get here. Drove through rain, snow, sleet, fog, you name it, we saw it, traffic. We're just so pumped. This is a really big deal to us. I've been racing with these guys, some of them for most of my life, and this is everything. March meet, we live for it, so we're just totally stoked to be here.
So here we go. First pair, the number 8 qualifier, Phil Ruskowski, alongside Rick White in the near lane. In car for Phil. Lots of RPM, and they popped the burst panel. They're done.
That's crushing. My kingdom for a throttle stop. That is just so disheartening. You heard him say how much this event means to him.
Came all the way from Victoria, British Columbia. The guy, the team, and everybody worked so hard. Just to get to the race was an effort, and to lose like that in the first round.
It's like striking out before the first pitch is thrown.
We won this race in 2011, and we've taken a little bit of time off from really hitting the whole circuit. We're trying to get back into it again. I think we have a good chance. We've made a couple of good, safe qualifying runs so far to get an idea on our tune-up, and I think we're ready to step on it now and see if we can really make this thing run.
He's been 400 miles per hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats. His son even races at Bonneville. His father ran fuel alters back in the 1960s. This guy loves the concept of acceleration.
Well, he loves acceleration. He's completely nonplussed. There's no pressure. And of course, he's just been handed a freebie by Ruskowski, who broke earlier.
March meet winner back in 2011. He's won the Hot Rod Reunion. See the butterflies close at about 800 feet, resulting in lapse time 6.09 seconds, 175. And you can see Phil Ruskowski's car, and you watch the parachute go by.
Oh,
and that's got to be crushing.
just pain, just utter pain.
Top fuel car's finally running good. You know, the crew worked hard all winter long, put in a bunch of nice new shiny parts. We were out here testing last weekend, made a couple of clean dry runs, which is pretty rare for this thing. Usually throws fuel and oil in my face. Once in a while I get a fire truck involved, which is pretty cool. For the fans, maybe not so much for me or the guys fixing it.
Hi, I'm Brendan Murray with a Running Wild AA Fuel Dragster at the 51st March meet, is that right? 61st March meet. I've been going to so many of these things I can't remember when.
Outlaw funny car. Both machines moving in. The number 2 qualifier up against the number 7 qualifier. Different styles of race cars, though, and different style of transmission, Cole.
Oh, definitely. So you've got Brett Williamson with the early model Hemi with the 2-speed, and you've got Brendan Murray with a late model, a 426, high gear only.
Last minute preparations underway. Brett Williamson, 55 years old, from Gilroy, California, and Brendan Murray, 57, born in Detroit, but lives in San Jose. On board right there with Brett Williamson as they get set to stage their race cars. Williamson last to move in. Advances, running a 580 at 240. Nice clean run.
Indeed, Williamson pretty much went coast to coast on Brendan Murray, who had some problems in the middle of the run, and something came off the car. He shut it off. Meanwhile, Brett Williamson is just doing nothing but making horsepower. Good looking run. You watch him here with the in car. You see right through some tire shake right about there, and then he shifts. Perhaps a little bit of a high-speed lean-out device, and then he hits the parachutes, and he's into the second round.
Beautiful run for Brett Williamson. That is a great in-car. Isn't it? That gives you a real sense of what it's like to drive one of these monsters.
It reminds me how much I don't want to drive one of these monsters.
I'd like a chance someday.
Not me, pal.
More Top Fuel round number 1 coming up from the 61st Annual March Meet at Auto Club Famoso Raceway. Stay tuned.
I've won 4 March meets, and I'm really proud of that. It's been very exciting, and I keep getting asked about the 5th one, and no one wants it more than me, but it's getting really old. I'd love to win it and get it behind me.
We're defending our title as #1 champs of the year from last year. We've been blowing up. We shook so bad that it broke the rear end out of the car, went off the end of the track, and quite frankly, I would just like to take a nap.
Well, for Mendy Fry, qualifying did not go according to plan. So Jim Murphy has no idea what Tom Sheelar has in order, because we all know that Mendy Fry's race car's got tons of horsepower.
It does, but Tom Sheelar does not know what Tom Sheelar has in order. There's so many things can happen with this. This is an absolute pick-em, and there's no love lost between these two very fierce competitors. Mendy Fry says she wants to take a nap, but she's going to have to be wide awake to get around Jim Murphy in this very fierce first-round matchup.
Current champion Jim Murphy, a former champion. They both won the March meet. Two cars, two teams that want for nothing in terms of performance, in terms of parts. This is going to be a great drag race. Now it's all about getting down the track here in round number one. Jim Murphy, a guy who has won this race as a car owner with Ed the Ace McCullough in Funny Car. Murphy's pre-stage. Mendy moves in. They're just sitting there cackling away. Mendy stages, rolls in, knocks out the top bulb. Away they go. And Mendy Fry is on a pass. A little bit of a wiggle in the middle, but she goes a 5:51, the quickest pass in history with a huge speed, 265.
Absolutely stunning, and what's so remarkable about that is the eagle battle these people had on the starting line. That sacrificed her elapsed time. This would have been better than a 51 had she not gotten sucked into Jim Murphy's staging gates.
Maybe the first pass in the 540s for a AA fuel dragster. Mendy gets out of the race car, finds out the number, gets a hug from her car owner. That's what it's all about.
And second round of qualifying, it shook down low, shook to about 300 feet, and vibrated for a long time. Frequency sped up, and I drove through it. And a little while later, you hear a sputter that's not supposed to come from the motor, and just about the time that you want to pull your foot off of it, you see the supercharger leave where it's supposed to be.
We've never won the March meets, and that's what we're going after. We've won the Hot Rod Reunion twice, and this weekend, we've got the interns with us. So as of right now, they're working overtime, and hopefully we work overtime all day tomorrow.
So Rick McGee spoke about winning the California Hot Rod Reunion. It's coming up at Auto Club Raceway Famoso in October. It's one of the social events on the drag racing season. Everybody shows up to watch and compete. Adam Sorokin, the son of the late Mike Sorokin, of course, the guy who drove the Surfers Top Fuel car and won the March meet. Rick McGee, 45 years old, looking at his race car from Exeter, California. A car built by his father-in-law, Darrell Tedford. Home-built race car, gotta love that.
Well, in fact, these guys were putting in overtime. They work in agriculture in the Kern County region, and after work, they work on the dragster.
So here comes Sorokin. That's a small block Chevrolet, 377 cubic inches, Alan Johnson heads, high gear only, the world's quickest small block Chevy in drag racing.
A light car because of the small cubic inch displacement.
Pounds per cubic inch determines the actual weight of the race car. Top bulbs are lit. McGee rolls in, so does Sorokin. Both drivers deep stage. McGee goes toward the center line and takes out the foam box. It's over. Adam Sorokin gets the win. Probably not the run he was looking for. He goes 598 at a little bit over 200 miles per hour.
Both of those drivers deep staged. I mean, again, they are just clawing their way to the finish.
Because I saw his front wheel coming, and I saw him shoot back, and I said, I'm going to save the motor, and I shut off. So he hit a cone.
So the semifinals are set. Rick White takes on Adam Sorokin. Brett Williamson takes on Mendy Fry. We'll be back for round number 2. 4 drivers left. 2 more rounds to go to decide the winner of the 61st annual March meet.
It's my favorite drag race. I love this thing.
Welcome back to the 61st annual March meet here at Bakersfield, NHRA member track, Auto Club Famoso Raceway. First up, it'll be Rick White against Adam Sorokin. They just completed their burnouts. And later on, a great matchup between Brett Williamson and Mendy Fry, your reigning AA Fuel Dragster Top Fuel champion.
We are getting to the core of the competition. I mean, there's your 4 fierce entries. Chrysler Hemis and the small block Chevy of Adam Sorokin with the Champion Speed Shop car.
Champion Speed Shop car owned by Bobby McClendon, a guy who owns a couple gyms in San Francisco, Planet Fitness. That's how he pays for his race car. Paying homage, though, to his dad with the name Champion Speed Shop.
Indeed, that's part of the legacy, but there's a lot of legacy in the other lane, too. I mean, if you're looking at Rick White, who comes from a land speed record family, his dad was a record holder at Bonneville, his kids out there also. The car is owned and tuned by Chuck Neal, who's also got quite the legacy with the A-Fuel cars, etc. So there's no lack of knowledge on this starting line right now between these two storied entries.
Good look at Rick White's race car. Last round ran 6:09, your #1 qualifier. And Adam Sorokin, who ran a 5:98 to take out Rick McGee. Winner comes back for the final round here at the March meet. Up in smoke goes Rick White, and Adam Sorokin is on his way. A little flame at the top end of the racetrack when he goes 5:83 at 2:12, and his team is excited because they're going to race for the trophy at Bakersfield.
Well, good news, bad news. I mean, they want to link in the fuse, but they are going rounds. But that pales comparison to the anguish that Rick White is going through, who couldn't get out of his own way.
Yeah, tough break there for Rick, the #1 qualifier, and you can see the oil on the side of the race car.
Yeah, it smoked it just 10 feet out, and I tried to pedal it once, and I rolled back into it, and then it knocked the build off. So that's just we had a good weekend, but it wasn't our day to finish it off.
There's nothing more humbling than a top fuel car. I mean, as long as these guys have been doing it, they'll still find a way for something to go wrong.
And now it's time for the other semifinal matchup. Brett Williamson, Mendy Fry were on board as Brett Williamson gets ready to do the burnout. Mendy Fry on the precipice of Bakersfield drag racing history with a first ever 540 run.
She's already established low AT of the universe.
Her reaction time 1:42 in round #1. No doubt that's in her head because her job is to cut a good light and keep that car in the groove.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that something's not wrong with that car as far as what's going on with the throttle linkage. Those numbers just don't really make any sense. Perhaps something was compromised when they blew up the blower on Friday or when they shook it so hard on Saturday that the rear end broke. That's something that could be addressed, but right now I think they're 3/10 on everybody else, so why worry about it?
Good look at Brett Williamson's race car, forever young. He's out of Pleasanton, California. Tom Sheilard making some last-minute adjustments. For Mendy Fry, the reigning AA Fuel Dragster champion. Brett Williamson's team right there. Mike Filler doing the same.
Yeah, you know, he's got nitro in his glasses. This is so great. I mean, you've got somebody who gets the seniors discount at Denny's. You can't see what he's doing because his glasses are covered in nitro.
On board with Brett Williamson. Now we go back to a good look at both cars in the starting line. Who will take on Adam Sorokin in the final round?
Once again, Mendy has problems on the starting line, but she just motors past Brett Williamson.
And she runs another record-setting performance. She's in the 540s for the first time ever. 549 to 259. Tom Sheilard ecstatic at the starting line. What a run by Mendy Fry and her team.
We have to establish a 540-second club.
Like the old Prager 5-second club.
Indeed.
Amazing, amazing. My team. They just need someone to be able to lead the starting line on time, but you know, with times like that, they're covering me for a while.
Her reaction time that time was a 2:19, but
something's not right.
Got away with it that time. Finals coming up. Adam Sorokin, Mendy Fry, one will win the March meet. We'll find out who next. Welcome back to the 61st annual March meet as we get set for the final round. Is Mendy Fry talking to Whit Bazemore?
I think he's supervising the replacement of the throttle cable, which was compromised in qualifying.
Adam Sorokin, Mendy Fry complete their burnouts. Now, if you like these type of race cars, you can actually see the original versions at the Wally Parks NHRA Motorsports Museum in Pomona, California.
The first wave of AA fuel dragsters, many of them do reside in Pomona at the museum. What's interesting about these cars is they have evolved from that very same technology. They've got the small tire, they've got the small 671 blower, the smaller fuel pump. So what you're seeing here is an exercise in how to do more with less, and with a 549 out of a front engine fueler. Who thought anybody would ever see that?
Yeah, low sixes was the norm back, in the heyday.
Sure.
Back in the 1970s. Now, the real key story here is reaction time. So Adam Sorokin's average reaction time today would work out to a .625. Mendy Fry, you need a calculator.
Well, maybe she can lend you hers. But to be fair, obviously something was wrong. We pointed that out the entire broadcast, and they did replace that throttle cable while they were being called to lanes. So there's been a tremendous amount of pressure on the high-speed motorsports team to get this right, and you never want to do that kind of repair as you're getting ready for battle.
Can Adam Sorokin step it up, maybe pull off a hole shot? Mendy Fry is in. Here comes Adam. Adam knocks out the top hole, and Mendy does not go anywhere. Has to be problems with the throttle linkage or cable. Adam Sorokin wins it.
You know, we started this competition by saying my kingdom for a throttle stop when Ruskowski banked the blower on the burnout. How about my kingdom for a throttle linkage? You see how far that race car went? Not even 100 feet.
So amazing. The March meet for us is really like the Indy Nationals, right? It's Monaco for us. It's a big deal. And to win here, it's my favorite track. My dad's won here. To be able to duplicate that is pretty awesome.
Bobby McClellan and his team celebrate a big win for the small block Chevy.
Incredible. History was made yet again. We saw Mendy put up the 549, lowest ET ever, but this is the second time a small block has won the March meet in top fuel, both times with this team.
On behalf of Cole Coonce, Lewis Bloom, this has been a great event. It's been a lot of fun.